Sa Presidential Decree 1151 issued in 1997 by President Ferdinand E. Marcos of the Philippines, it is also known as the Philippine Environmental Policy, and its goal is to protect the environment by requiring an Environmental Impact Statement or EIS for any project that could significantly affect the environment. This decree ensures that environmental considerations are integrated into the planning and development processes of all governmental and private sector projects. So, ang EIS or Environmental Impact Statement is a report that assesses the potential environmental effects of a proposed project. So it helps decision makers and the public understand the environmental consequences before the project is approved. So now let's talk about the principles and objectives of the Philippine Environmental Policy or the Presidential Decree 1151. So it actually focuses on ensuring sustainable development and environmental protection. And some of the key factors that might be included is number one, the sustainable development. So the promotion of the use and conservation of natural resources to ensure their availability for the future generations. And number two is the public participation. So it encourages active participation for all the sectors of the society and the environmental decision-making processes. Number three, so the environmental responsibility. So it is to ensure that all sectors, including the government and private entities, take responsibility for their environmental impact on the projects that they are doing. Number four is the environmental integration. So, incorporate environmental considerations into the planning and decision-making processes of all projects and programs. At number five, we have the prevention of environmental damage. So, it prioritizes the prevention of environmental degradation and pollution. Number six, our last is environmental education. So this last part is to promote the environmental awareness, to raise awareness and education to foster a culture of environmental stewardship. So these principles and objectives aim not only to protect but also to improve the environment, ensuring a healthy and balanced ecology for present and future generations in the Philippines.
Mabuhay, and this is the impacts of Presidential Decree 1151. The first is environmental awareness. The decree has heightened awareness about environmental issue among the public and within various sectors of society. And the next is regulatory framework. It's established the requirement for environmental impact statement or EIS, making it mandatory for all the projects with significant environmental effects to undergo religious assessment. So the third one is institutional coordination. The decree facilitated better coordination among different government agencies in incorporating environmental consideration into their plans and programs. So the fourth is project planning and development. In integrated environmental consideration into planning and development stages of projects, ensuring that potential environmental impacts are assessed and mitigated before project implementation. This help in minimum environmental damage and promoting sustainable practices. So the last one is public participation. The decree emphasized the importance of involving the public in environmental decision-making processes. This has led to increased community engagement and empowerment in environmental governance.
So now let's talk about the significance of the Philippine Environmental Policy or the Presidential Decree 1151. So one of its significance is the legal foundation. So the Presidential Decree 1151 is laid as the legal groundwork for the subsequent environmental laws and regulations in the Philippines. So it provided a basis for environmental protection policies and the establishment of various environmental agencies. So second is sustainable development. So it underscored the importance of balancing the economic development with environmental protection. The degree has guided the country towards more sustainable development practices. So the third is the protection of natural resources. So it has contributed to the conservation of the Philippines' natural resources by ensuring that development projects consider environmental impacts. So this has helped in preserving biodiversity in some areas and preventing the resource depletion. Fourth is the health and well-being. So by promoting a healthful and balanced ecology, the degree has contributed to the improvement of public health and well-being of the people in the society. So it has helped in reducing the pollution and environmental hazards. So number five is the framework for environmental education. So this degree has promoted environmental education and awareness or raise awareness, fostering a sense of environmental stewardship among Filipinos. So it has encouraged educational institutions to integrate environmental topics into their curricula.
Let's tackle about the achievements. Number 1. Environmental Impact Assessment or EIA system. The institutionalization of the EIA system in the Philippines, which requires project proponents to submit an environmental impact statement EIS for the significant projects. And numerous infrastructure and development projects have undergone EIA processes, leading to more sustainable and environmentally conscious planning and implementation. Number 2. Clean air and water initiatives. Various clean air and water programs have been implemented to reduce pollution levels. For instance, the Pasig River Rehabilitation Program aimed at cleaning and rehabilitating the heavily polluted Pasig River. Number 3. Protected areas and biodiversity conservation. Establishment and management of numerous protected areas and natural parks such as the Tubataha Reefs Natural Park and the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. These efforts have helped in conserving biodiversity and protecting ecosystems. 4. Reforestation and afforestation projects. Large-scale reforestation programs like the National Greening Program or NGP, which aim to reforest degraded lands across the country. These projects have contributed to carbon sequestration and soil stabilization and biodiversity conservation. Number 5. Sustainable urban development. Development and implementation of eco-friendly urban planning and infrastructure projects. For example, the development of green spaces and parks in urban areas such as the Green City initiatives in various localities. Number 6. Waste management improvements. Implementation of solid waste management programs in compliance with the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act RA 9003, which was influenced by the environmental principles of PB 1151. Example include the establishment of sanitary landfills and the promotion of recycling programs. 7. Environmental education and advocacy. The launching of nationwide environmental education campaigns and the incorporation of environmental education in school curricula. Public awareness campaigns and community-based environmental protection activities have increased public engagement in environmental issues. 8. Sustainable agricultural practices. Promotion of sustainable agricultural practices to reduce environmental degradation caused by traditional farming methods. Programs promoting organic farming, integrated pest management, and sustainable land use planning have been implemented.